Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where there is a new expansion due in just a couple of days here, but it's not really very relevant to the game that we're going to be playing in this particular series. This is of course a continuation of our Victoria series that happened not too long ago, as in yesterday. That is, of course, a continuation of the mega campaign of Carpetania, but it's been a little bit of a strange mega campaign because we haven't imported until now. Now we are importing, and we are going for a world conquest into Stellaris, is the idea. And we're going to be playing as Russia. We are just importing from Vic 3, and let's take a quick look at what that imported as. It's a little bit strange. So let's see what we've got here. I'm going to do select country so that we can take a bit of a look at what's going on here. So this is the way it's set up, which is very, very similar to what it was. The weird thing that happened is that Russia imported as democratic, which is mildly surprising to me considering we were still on autocracy. Yeah, we had passed census suffrage, but okay, I guess we're democratic, and we're going to need to do something about that, because we're not going to be able to do a whole lot as a democratic ideology. We'll see. Let's see here. Great Britain is non-aligned. France is totalitarian and communist. And the US is democratic. Okay, so that is ultimately probably a good thing. We're not going to bother with historical AI focuses. We're not going to bother with Iron Man. We're just going to hit this sweet, sweet start button. So this is going to be very interesting. We're going to have to make our way into something less democratic, I think. That's probably going to be the main goal here. Now, I want to take a quick look at our situation down in Borneo here. So these areas over here should be controlled by the Dutch East Indies, and indeed they are. This, however, is controlled by us. It's an integrated puppet, and I want to take a look. Let's see. Where do we see our diplomacy in this game? It's been a little while. No doubt about that. Manage subjects. This is what we're looking for. Hi, placeholder flag. Okay, cool. Belungen has a placeholder flag. That is excellent. So, what do we have going on here? It looks like absolutely nothing is going on with the autonomy right now. Most of these are either a puppet or an integrated puppet. Okay. So that seems reasonably fine for now. Now, we are 42% fascist right now. Our next election is going to be in 1937. Cool. We are probably going to want to reduce democracy support. We could do, like, improved worker conditions, something along the lines of that. There's a lot of nation building that we can do in our vassals. I don't think that's something that we want. Probably not. Radio propaganda exists and utilized domestic film industry exists, but we can't do either of those. Okay, so we're going to need to work on changing our ideology over, right? For now, we have generic focus trees because we brought in a mod, and that is reasonably expected. We're going to go for an industrial effort here. Absolutely 100%. And as far as what we're going to build, well, we should take a quick look at what we've got. So we've got 71 civilian factories right now, or actually, how many military factories do we have? Do we know that? I'm not sure. We do. We do have some military factories here. So that is noted. We want to build civilian factories basically anywhere we can, right? And that's going to be potentially a lot of them. So I want to shift-click to build the maximum amount of buildings. Okay, so we just want to build a whole lot of civilian factories anywhere we directly control. We don't necessarily want to build these for now in our vassal locations, but anywhere we directly control, we absolutely do. We're going to need to build infrastructure after this, but let's get all of this going for now. That is not controlled by us. Communist Kishi Zoos is up over here. Fascinating. So this imported, but without the war. Did the same thing happen over here? They are a puppet of ours. They are a puppet of ours. Are these guys? No. Okay. So that's very, very interesting. We're going to need to do something about that, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of things we're going to need to do things about. And we're going for world conquest here, so it'll be a little bit. We'll need to play the long game here. No doubt about that. So these are all vassal controlled. This state is not. Ooh, that was vassal controlled. Okay, so we want to just work our way around these vassals. Something kind of like this. This is all Russia down over here, but, of course, we're starting to get into vassals over here again. Okay, so that is all reasonably fine. Wait, these are Persia. I don't want to construct in our vassal states just yet. We may get there, but for now, we just want to continue to build civilian factories where possible. We will convert them into military factories later on. That goes quite quickly. So we can build out here, we can build here, we can build here. Cool. And then down over this way, we'll build whatever we can. So that'll be in just a couple of locations there. That should be pretty much our entire holdings of civilian factories being queued up. Fantastic. So we'll get those going, and then, of course, railways are going to be a thing. Do we already have... Oh, we already have a pretty solid railway network. Yeah, that imported pretty well. No problem there. Okay, cool. Do we have any supply hubs? Perhaps not, but that's okay. What I want to do right now is I want to do the same thing, going through and queuing up infrastructure. So we're going to do that. I'm not going to bother with queuing up anything like forts and anti-air and we don't have radar stations, but air bases. Things like that I'm not going to do just now. I just want to get this initial round of construction queued up here, and we'll see what ends up happening with that, how much of that actually ends up getting done. Some of it will, and some of it won't. Okay, so we can construct out over here. Note how this is all being added at the top of the queue. That isn't necessarily how I want it to go. So actually, I should be doing shift click. What am I doing? Why am I control clicking? I'm used to doing that from Victoria. Sure. So we're just going to hop in through here, getting these all cranked up to maximum. Okay, something along the lines of that should be good. There we go. And I do want to cancel these. There we go. And we're going to give these lowest priority. Okay, we can just scan through this here quick and see if we're building in any vassal nations. We are not. Beautiful. So I want to be constructing... Hang on. We need to go back to the top here. This moves down. I want to be constructing civilian factories as the top priority. Oh, I don't think we got the civilian factories out over here. Correct. We did not. Okay. Right, this map is a little bit cut off to the north. Okay, that seems absolutely good. At this point, what I want to do is finish off our infrastructure queuing. So that will result in... not this. There we go. We need to get just a little bit more queued up. Something like that. There we go. That should be all of our infrastructure queued up, I believe, except for down over here. We didn't get all of that done. Right. Okay, let's get this completed. That should not be very many states, but there will be a few over here. There we go. Something like that. Perfect. So that'll take a while to construct, right? No doubt about that. These are... okay, I queued up military factories. I intended to queue up civilian factories. Let's try that again. Perfect. So something along the lines of that. Now, we've got research slots available. Step 1, I want to grab electronic mechanical engineering. Step 2, I want to grab basic machine tools. Step 3 is going to be construction 1. And step 4, we're probably not going to go with synthetic refineries. We shouldn't need synthetic oil. So that should be absolutely okay. What else are we interested in? Well, we might want to get going on something like one of these technologies. I suppose we could go for, like, trucks. That is an option. I would kind of rather get something in industry and engineering at this point. But there's not a lot open at this moment. So I think we're going to end up having to go for, like, the Fiat 15. We can do that. Oh, this is different. Military-industrial organization. Okay, cool. So we can definitely do that. Now, there's also been this international market added since last time I played. So that'll be interesting for sure. We have no divisions in basic training right now. Our divisions almost certainly suck, to be clear. And I'm not going to go through and rework these divisions just yet. We have a lot of unassigned divisions. I'm going to... Actually, we only have 24. Noted. Well, we'll assign that to a new army here, and we will, of course, want to have a commander here. So this is basically the correct size. We're going to put this guy in. That seems fine. This is the correct size, but this is infantry and cavalry. Okay. Let's look at our template here. We do have some artillery built into this. This template probably sucks. I'm very bad at templates. We'll get better templates soon, but that is not a right now sort of thing. So we're not currently producing any equipment. We should probably be producing some amount of infantry equipment. We should probably also be doing some amount of artillery. We should do towed artillery. Okay, and I want to check in on our cavalry template. This is just cavalry. So they just use infantry equipment. Okay. So that should be reasonably fine. We shouldn't really need anything else. How many free military factories do we have? Quite a lot, actually. So that would end up being something like this, and we'd still have 2 free military factories at this time. So that is definitely very interesting. We could start building, like, aircraft. I don't love that concept. We could also throw a couple into civilian trains, which is maybe not a terrible idea. Doing something about like that. As far as divisions in basic training go, I'm not going to train additional cavalry divisions. I'm going to train... Hang on, I want to check this template. Okay, so the infantry brigade and the infantry division are very different things. The infantry division is, I believe, the one that we want. This is light infantry. Yeah, we'll go with the infantry division. So we'll train that, and we will put this in, say, Moscow is... Or I guess Smolensk. Sure, that works. That's reasonably fine. Do we want to be training any more than this? Well, we do have 900,000 manpower right now. That's not a huge amount of manpower, to be honest. So that seems reasonably fine. We can create our intelligence agency. This will eat up civilian factories, and I'm not too keen on doing that right now. Okay, there is another thing that we want to get going here, almost certainly. We've got our officer corps here. We don't really care about any of this right now. We're going to need to build up our political power. And what we really want to do... Yeah, the Democratic Party here is 17%. Non-aligned is 41, and fascist is 42. So our next election should be able to switch us over to a fascist government. So that would do the trick as far as being able to build up global tension. There's not a lot we can do militarily as a democracy at this stage of the game, right? And we're probably going to be the primary global tension builder. We'll see how that goes. I kind of expect the AI until the war to break out to mostly just sit around. We'll see if that's real or not. But I do want to go into our Russian theater, and this guy can actually get a new trait. Sure, we can do, like, skirmisher. Or I guess... Oh, we don't actually have the command power. Okay, that's fine. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get these guys exercising. There we go. We'll do that. And I think we mostly just have to sit and build until we can change our form of government. So we can bump this up to around speed 4, and let's get going here. So that looks good. How much manpower are we gaining? Recruitable 1.41k monthly. That's not a lot of monthly growth. We would need to change our laws. We're currently on volunteer only. Okay, we're not going to go to limited conscription just yet. Export focus and civilian economy. Civilian economy is probably okay here. Actually, no, it's not. we are going to want to shift down as soon as possible. Okay, noted. That seems fine. Cool. So we're going to tick forward here. Events are going to be very generic because we imported, but that's okay. So we'll see what ends up happening with the global tension. I am kind of expecting us to be the major initiator of global tension, and that means that we need to change off of democracy because we can't do anything at 0 global tension. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a requirement here, but that does buy us some time to get some of these constructions underway, which would be nice. We have 3 dockyards right now. Okay, we do have 4 dockyards. We should probably start producing some form of ship. Yes, indeed. I'm going to do a 1936 submarine, and I'm going to put 2 dockyards into that. I'm also going to start producing an early heavy cruiser. And we're going to put 2 dockyards into that. That's not exactly the makings of a fleet, but it's a start. That's what we're going to go with. It's a start. So that'll be fine. We are currently lacking supplies out over here. Where are these guys located? We want to go into the generic map mode here. They're located up over here. Noted. So there is lack of supply here. They belong to an army, but they have no orders assigned. But there is attrition up over this way. So I want to take a look at what's going on exactly with regard to their attrition that is going on here. And I need to remember how to see that in this game. So supply level here, we want to go into, I believe, the supply map mode. And we can see that this state is currently at 4 out of 102. Okay, so we probably are just not producing enough supplies. The supplies can get there. We just need to have our supplies produced up. So I want to take a look at our production then. And we can see, okay, yeah, we need 670 infantry equipment for reinforcement and 80 artillery for reinforcement. We are currently stockpiling civilian trains, so that's okay. But we definitely need to proceed here and let our production efficiency work its way up. No doubt about that. Our infantry equipment and our artillery is the problem, so we just need to produce more. That's fine. No major issue there. That'll be okay. And as far as our actual civilian industries go, they are working away at completing these, and that is a snowball that will slowly begin to roll, but there are a lot of civilian industries in this queue here. No doubt about that. So that's absolutely fine for the moment. We can also build, let's see, those are synthetic refineries. Right, in this game, oil just exists. And we don't actually have to do anything about it. I forgot about that. It's kind of weird. Like, Hearts of Iron is a weird Paradox game. No doubt about it. Very, very strange. But regardless, when is our election? I believe it is next year? August of 1937. Okay. So we are expecting the Democratic Party to end up losing this election, which will allow us to do things. Under our current leadership, we cannot do that. It's kind of strange because the Octoberists were the ones who won the last election. That import is a little bit odd, but whatever. We'll allow it, I guess. So we are currently at 53 political power. Our industrial effort will be done soon enough, and we're going to work on construction effort, and we're going to go down this route for now. So that seems okay. We want to get down to these extra research slots as soon as possible. Taking a look at the rest of this tree, after we finish up our construction effort and infrastructure effort and move into construction effort 3, we're almost certainly going to go down armament effort, and then beyond that, we'll probably go political and work towards a collectivist ethos, most likely, and move down this tree over here, is, I think, the path that we're going to take. Because I am expecting the AI to not do anything, including the French. We'll see what happens with the French, but I am expecting them to not be very useful in terms of building up global tension. So that's absolutely fine. As far as Great Britain, the question is, how strong are they? 11 to 13 military factories used in military equipment. Okay. And they have very low available manpower, apparently. Fascinating. But they have a lot of deployed manpower. So that is certainly noted. There's that industrial effort finished up, and we're going to grab construction effort. That will, of course, help us get going on our constructions. We're building 3 simultaneous factories right now. Kind of 4, but mostly 3. Cool. So we have a long ways to go until our 4th factory is being built, but yeah, this is looking reasonably good. We were definitely building faster than this in Victoria, but I mean, tech is advanced, and maybe we weren't quite as advanced. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so China managed to succeed in their rebellion over here. They're still at all-out war? What war are they in? Oh. I didn't realize that France was attacking China. That's interesting. I wonder when that started. That's very, very fascinating. Well, we know that France has a fair amount of available manpower. So there is that. For the time being, I'm not too concerned about it. This is something that started in Victoria, and there is a little bit of world tension that was built up there, but not enough for us to do anything. So we'll see what ends up happening. These wars were all started in Victoria, and we need them to start in Hearts of Iron if we're going to have the tension build up, right? That's going to be very, very important. So that's absolutely fine. We're going to be finishing up some of these constructions very soon here. There's our electronic mechanical engineering finishing up. That is going to speed up all of our research speed. And we are going to grab mechanical computing next for an additional 4% research speed. Beautiful. That is phenomenal. And that'll be done in 230 days. So the next one to finish will be the Fiat 15. And then beyond that will be the basic machine tools, which will, of course, be useful for us. I want to check in on how our production is doing. Okay, we're stockpiling now. Perfect. We do have decisions available, and a lot of these decisions are probably not something that we're going to do. We could do region-wide industrial integration, which isn't a terrible idea. But we probably have other things we want to spend our political power on right now, like coming off of civilian economy and going on to early mobilization. That'll be useful for us because it'll be 5% less factories on consumer goods, and it'll be 20% faster construction speed. And a little bit more fuel gain per oil. So this is just better for us. Partial mobilization is even better. War economy is... It's not great. Once we get into a war, it will be. And then total mobilization is possibly not amazing, but we'll see. It's kind of like how scraping the barrel is not fantastic. You want to sit somewhere around extensive conscription. The 10% training time isn't a big deal, but when you start getting down here, it gets bad, right? I mean, sure, you can get huge amounts of manpower from it, but it hurts your economy pretty significantly. It's a similar sort of concept. So, of course, this army has no orders as of right now, which is quite expected. We're expecting nothing to happen until we can do things about it, right? So that'll be a next year sort of thing, and that means we have a lot of time here to just build up factories, and that's great. So it looks like we have lost a couple of consumer goods factories. Noted. Yeah, that's just kind of flickering around. There's also some trade going on there, so that is fine. We have an unassigned division here. I'm going to put this into a new army, and we're going to... Do we want to recruit a new commander here? Oh no, that would cost us political power. We might just want to put our Grand Duke in here, and I think that's what I'll do. And then I'll set these guys to exercising. Fantastic. So that'll be fine for now. We're building up command power. We're building up army experience. That's all good. We're going to need that army experience. There's the Fiat 15 finishing. I'm not too concerned about it. I would be interested in maybe researching radio here and making our way down into radar dishes down this direction. The other option, of course, is being able to grab these fire control systems. For the moment, let's just grab radio and we'll call that good. Looking at our production here, yeah, we've got plenty of production going on, no major issues there, and we're working up to our production efficiency cap. So that all looks fine. For the moment, I think our biggest focus on spending political power beyond our focus, because I believe the focus does cost political power, beyond that, our primary goal is going to be changing civilian economy. So we're on construction effort right now that just finished, and we're going to put in another construction effort here. No, that doesn't cost political power. Never mind, I lied. Fantastic. So that means that we're going to get that done pretty soon. There's basic machine tools finishing, and we definitely want to consider going for improved machine tools or perhaps concentrated industry. I think concentrated industry is the way we want to go here. Yes, let's do it. That sounds good. Fantastic. So we're going to want to do region-wide industrial integration later, but that is a not right now sort of scenario. I do want to swap us over to early... Can we go directly to partial mobilization? Apparently we can. Fantastic. I assumed we'd have to just stay here. We can't go down this way because we're not fascist or communist, so we can't go to war economy, but we can set up partial mobilization, and that's great. So what that ends up meaning is we can go into our construction, and look at that. 11 civilian factories working on construction, just like that. Fantastic. That's really, really solid. So we're on an export focus right now. That's, I think, reasonably okay. We can't go down to limited exports, and we can't close our economy either. I don't think we want to at this moment. We do want to go down to extensive conscription, but we'll need to be fascist for that, or communist. So that would be okay. We're probably going to end up going fascist here. We have basically no communists, so there's that. Seems reasonably okay. Things are progressing nicely. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue our constructions. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.